Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast,
where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for. I have no information on this season. Like intro.
What do you mean?
Like title the things.
Wreath What You Sow?
Wreath. Oh my god. I mean, I get it, but yikes. What episode are we on?
7. 6, 7, 7.
Yeah, you say that.
I'm going to go 7 because I said 7 last week and I was wrong. It was 6.
Yeah, so
I'm going to go 7.
Yeah, 7. Interesting. I do feel like we're getting into more of like what each person's like personal life is, like where we're learning more about the women.
Yeah.
Like I think I forget when I watch these guys that they actually like we don't know anything about them. No. Yeah, we don't know them. So it's like
I'm also hearing they might be doing this to Atlanta as well.
What do you mean?
Full reboot, like pulling them all and doing a new one. Which it's like, why am I catching up on Atlanta then if you're just going to give me all new Housewives?
Yeah. Well, you know.
I mean, it's still classic. They're just too good not to watch. But you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm going to catch all the way up just to reboot.
Well, you think they're going to get rid of everybody? Everybody?
Supposedly. I don't know. It's a rumor. It doesn't mean it's true. I don't know.
We'd have to see how bad the last season was. I mean, we know New York was at a point where it was
I know it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? I honestly don't know if what happened to New York, because here's the funny thing is like when you watch like Sonia and Luann, they're quite entertaining. I mean, I'm curious to see how... Is anybody on the girlfriend trip from New York?
It's all New York.
Yeah.
It's Legacies.
No, not that one. Like the other one that had...
Season 1 had Luann and Ramona.
This particular one that they're holding off on with Brandy.
Oh.
I don't know if any of them were on there.
I don't think so. I know it has Atlanta, OC, Beverly Hills.
No, I'm just saying, like, I wonder to see how they're going to do. And I wonder to see how this... I'm curious to see how the Legacy
No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody of New York is on there.
I'm curious to see how the Legacy goes, because I feel like it could have been partially like COVID and the fact that you couldn't do much.
And Ramona needed to go. I think it was that was simple.
I think if they had gotten rid of Ramona and brought in maybe one more young person,
like a middle person, maybe like a Jenna. I think it could have been okay.
Well,
like
Jenna,
someone to...
I think if they brought in Jenna or Erin into that mix, I think they would have
someone
been fine.
To bridge the gap between like Leah and Ebony, and then Luann and Sonia.
Jenna would have been too quiet for this group.
Yeah, true.
So where I think like Erin would have been perfect, like her and Leanne. No, what the hell is her name? I don't even like her. Leah. I think her and Leah together, or her and Ebony together, I think would have been a better mix. But
see, I think Luann and Sonia could have got down with the younger girls. I just think it was like Ramona pulled them back into like being old.
Yeah, and I even think Dorinda might have been okay with that whole group. I think it was just Ramona did something. I don't know. She just whatever. But that's neither here nor there group.
Doesn't matter anymore. So
it does start off by giving us a little bit more of Jenna and like what she's about, where we learn about her lash line and how she came about it, and that she's rebranding due to getting into Target. So I'm curious. See?
Did you look today?
No.
Should have.
She probably would have been there. Yeah.
Should have looked.
I didn't even think about it.
But she could actually be in the Target. Maybe she'd be like in that Ulta section part, which not all Targets have. But I don't think so. I feel like you would have said Ulta if you were in Ulta.
Well, yeah, and I think she is just Target, because I think she's trying to be like affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, based on how she was doing those interviews, where she was really trying to like get to know people and like figure out who
I've never heard questions asked like that on like an interview.
No, but I guess she said because she knows that her product is mainly on the lashes, and mainly it's only on lashes, but it's on the eyes, like
that's
the
what
eyes
they're photographing. Yeah, that's where you're going.
So she said she wants to make sure that she has people that have something behind the eyes, not just like pretty
dead in the eyes.
So I think that's why she's looking for stories or or something in the person. I don't know. It was a very weird process, but it was hers, and it was very Jenna, and I was not surprised at all. What I was surprised was that she had Sai come to help her, and once Sai got there and she went and shared her story, that's not her. I knew somewhere that wasn't her name. Yeah. But I thought it was like, not that I thought she was like a Jennifer or something like that. I thought it was more of a shortening of something.
Of somehow getting to
like a Judith, no. But I can see her looking like, she looks like a Judith.
Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, but that mom really jacked her up. Judith Agar, she tells us later, her name is Agar.
Yeah, her middle name.
Yeah. I'm like, woof. But she didn't help herself either with her story.
No, but where did the brother get Gianna from?
I have no idea. He probably just was calling her a mean name, and I don't know. That's why I thought that was her name. I don't know. That was weird. But why that would stick in your head of all things? That's the name. I mean, did your brother freshly call it? I thought this was college. Didn't she say it was college?
I think so, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, really? In college your brother was calling you that?
Or bullying you all the way up until that day?
I don't know. I thought that was weird. I mean, but again, it's another weird way that she is very much herself. Like, it's very much her. Like, I couldn't see her sharing something, like, sane or I don't know. But they do end up going into the fact that Sai left the party, Erin's party.
Yeah.
And that Erin was mad once again that she left the party.
Yeah, so we were wrong. She did not come back.
I thought she did.
She's gone.
I thought she went and got that food and came back, but apparently not. Oh, I'm starting a meeting. Sorry. I mean, we do get into a little bit more about when Erin is with her husband. She gets into a little bit more, but she says she doesn't. Sai's like, well, I don't care. If she's mad at me, what am I going to do? She needs to, like, stop serving, like, she needs to start serving food or something. Yeah. It is becoming a thing.
No, it's becoming a thing. I mean, once we get to Brynn's party,
oh my God, it's really, because now she's just done, she's hit everybody. She's almost hit everybody, in my opinion. So they get into Erin and her husband, and they start talking about the party, how lovely it was, this and the other thing, and you automatically know, all right, we're going to hit up the chatty chats, the leaving, the divorce, comments, the whole bit. And he starts saying, like, about...
Well, he brings up the divorce comment?
Yeah. He starts telling her about what Brynn said. And look, I think Brynn was probably drunk and just being funny? Yeah. I think she thought she was funny. And I think she thought she could be funny with her because apparently she says she makes comments about the husband in front of her or something. So I think she thought that she could, like, this would be acceptable banter. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I don't know what I expected him to do, like, not want to do it, but, like, he was, like, laughing along with her.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like a awkward, forced. No, like, it seemed like, oh, yeah, haha, funny. Yeah, that's my thing. I think she could make a bigger deal and be okay with making a bigger deal if the husband seemed very uncomfortable. Like, he was still even laughing while he was telling her.
And he said, she's like, what did you do? And he's like, well, I kind of laughed along with it because, what was I going to... Yeah. Really, it was like meant to, you could tell it was meant to be a joke. I mean, obviously she's not coming for you, dude. I mean, like, it was meant to be a joke. And when you see who this girl was engaged to and all, she's not coming for Erin's husband, no offense, but she's just really not. She has enough on her own plate. But
and my thing is, how loud could these girls have been talking?
That's what I want to know, because
they even heard them. Like, how like, they must have been screaming.
Well, I don't know if it didn't seem like they...
But he said, oh, that was them.
Yeah, but I think because he found out, like, I don't think he knew that it was them per se. Like, I think someone told him.
But even when they replayed the thing, I'm looking in the background, and there are so many people talking, and I'm like...
Well, that's what they were saying.
Like, what did their mics for the show accidentally get connected to the speakers, and everybody could hear them? Like, how loud
they acted like it was...
must they have been?
I don't know. They acted like it was them and only them, and they were causing all this chaos. And I think he knew from the sister telling him. I think the sister or somebody came back and told him. But she was, needless to say, just getting pissed and more pissed. So her house is weird because, not weird, but, like, it's hard to figure out these apartments because she's got, like, stairs that go down off of what looks like the kitchen and living room. There's like a kid crying or something, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna go get him or whatever, and, like, she goes downstairs and comes back up with a kid fully in a coat.
Okay, yeah, that was my thing too. Why is he in, like, a winter jacket?
Did he fall asleep downstairs, and downstairs is like a garage or an entranceway, and he was left in a stroller or something?
Do you think they live in, like, a townhouse?
It doesn't seem like it. It looks like it's an apartment
though.
But I mean,
Florida apartment.
She has an elevator that comes up into. So all I could think of was that she left him, like, downstairs where it was darker and quieter, and that's like the entrance. I couldn't figure this out for the life of me, but
yeah, I was just really boggled by the winter coat still being on.
I know.
And then she was like, oh, she was also upset about Brynn making the comment because the kids were there, and I'm like, but here you are now having this conversation in front of the child. I know he was like, they said he was like 2, and he probably doesn't have any concept, but I'm like,
but you're talking about kids and whatever, and I where were those kids that they were out there making, like, that they thought they were listening to these parents and
I didn't even see the kids.
They did walk in with them. I saw them come in with them.
Yeah, they came in, but, like,
never saw them
in the party,
again.
No,
never saw them again. So they were probably coloring off in some corner, not listening to
They were eating the pigs in the blanket.
Yeah, not listening to Brynn's conversation, to be honest with you. So then we get into Jessel and her husband. They go out to eat, and she starts talking about, of course, wanting another kid, and he's like, no to his great number. And she said that she was complaining that her mother was here and that she gets up too late. Like, well, she said something about not having a drink or something like that because she has to get up really early because she thought that when her mother showed up, like, I guess her mother was going to pick up her slack with the kids and be her nanny, basically.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, like, maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But she said she hasn't woken up early since she got here. But in English, she's super early. I'm sorry. If I was that mother, I'd be a little bit pissed with her because I'd be like, I'm sorry. I didn't come here to, like, be your nanny.
I mean, unless she did. But I mean, maybe. She did say she does have a nanny as well, so.
Well, that's why, like, I'm saying, like, why are you acting like this lady needs to be the one to, like, I don't know, get up for you?
I literally wrote, every scene I feel like I see Jessel with it, and half the time, she's complaining about something.
She's always complaining. I think if I came all the way from England to visit, I'm assuming she's here to see
and didn't
those
she say
kids.
She woke up at 9 a.m. too? It's not like she was waking up at 2.
I think she said like 8:39 or something like that.
That's
she
early.
made it sound
that's like, I don't know.
I think that's normal time to be getting up when you're a guest, like in your child's house. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but she just keeps talking about having another baby, and she wants this baby girl, and I understand that. I mean, and if you have the embryos and that stuff was not cheap to do, then you want to, I guess you want to utilize that. But that thing that I just don't understand, and I'm dying to ask my friend, is this a real thing? Because she made it, I mean, her mom did confirm it, but I still am curious, like, because she's saying that it's like her family doesn't know that she had IVF. And I mean, granted, I don't see why they really need to know that, like why that needs to be a big secret. I mean, or why that needs to be something that has to come out. I get it now. She's looking maybe to have her mother come help her. Again, like, I don't know why that still has to come out. Once you're pregnant, you're pregnant. Who has to know how you got pregnant?
Well, my thing is, like, she keeps now going on this, like, yeah, I'm going to try to spin it to everybody. I'm going to do, like, a PR spin. Girl, you said it on the show. Yeah, there is no spin. And you already said you're going to spin it on the show. Like, what are you going to do? Even if you're like, I don't care as much about, like, my external family. It's just my mother. Your mother knows you're about to spin it to her if she watches the show. Your only hope is that don't watch the show.
The other thing is, like, she's talking like this is, like, a thing that, like, the culture doesn't accept. I mean, I find that hard to believe that you would be more like, I don't know, like you'd rather them not have kids than do this. I mean, maybe adoption or something like that I could see because you're not carrying the bloodline or something. But I mean, this is her kids from her eggs and her, like, that whole bit. So, like, I don't know. It was just, that was weird. And it got weirder when she came back into, you know, into play. And then we have this, like, weird little blip with Brynn and this ex-fiance.
Yeah, I'm not getting the fiance yet.
I don't know. I thought they were really cute together, but she came in and I was like, all right, who is this guy and what's going on? Yeah. And then you see, okay, he's the ex-fiance, great, cute, whatever. But she says that when he proposed to her, I mean, this says a lot about her, all this stuff, that when he proposed to her, she was already dating someone else. They had broken up. Yep, she was dating someone else, and that he came to some hotel, I think, where she was staying and was playing, like, music out of all these speakers. Yeah. And I forget what the song was she said, but I don't think it was that great of a song, to be honest with you. And she came down and, like, I guess he asked her, and then she said the worst thing is having to go tell the person you're dating that you're engaged to someone else. And I'm like, you think? I'm like, because, my God.
What I don't get is, like, okay, so you don't want to be his wife. Like, well, you didn't want to be the wife at the time. She seems like she doesn't want to be his wife as well. And it seems like she doesn't want to date him. So it's like, I don't know, I'm confused. Because I think she'd be okay with just being friends, but he doesn't seem like he wants to be just friends.
I think they all still like her. And I can't figure it out either, because part of me, like, she does seem like she would be okay with him because she's asking, like, where her ring is. And I'm sorry, anybody that can just walk into a showroom and look at a $200,000 car, I'm like,
400.
One was 2 and then the other one was 4. Like, I don't know.
That was some personal garage and...
Yeah, that was someone's, like, personal showroom and, like, interesting. But she said that she saw herself in a window with the ring and all one day, and she was just, like, it freaked her out, and she was like, yeah, no. But I'm, like, thinking to myself, like, you keep saying that you want to...
Well, this was back then. I think she said she was in her 20s,
but, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're just going to keep dating these other fools that don't seem to be going anywhere or being like any kind of prospect. But if you know that, like, he's a good guy and you like him and stuff, I don't know why you wouldn't give it a try. And I think the producer did ask her something like, would you ever get back with him or something like that, or something about the long haul. And she's like, I don't know. We'd have to see. Like, she didn't say no, it seemed like, but I don't know. I just think if she wants a baby and stuff like that, she needs to.
You know what I could see her also doing a little bit when she said, like, oh, she was thinking about having a baby. I could see her doing, like, what we were watching Kenya do, like, have a baby on her own.
I think that's where she'd have to be at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see what else she could do. And Kenya I don't think, even ended up doing it that way. I think she ended up meeting somebody. But, like, again, this was, like, at least here we go. We have another backstory. We're getting into, like, all about the fiance things, which I thought was interesting. When she said you had 3 fiancés, I was like, all right, come on now. There's got to be some like stuff back there. So at least, like, she's giving us a little bit more of, like, instead of just fights. Like, that's what I felt this episode. It gave us a little bit more of who everybody was instead of constant fight. I mean, it looks like next week. Here we go.
No, that's not next week. That was the mid-season trailer.
Oh, mid-season trailer, okay.
That would have been so much to go on next week. That actually would have been sensory overload because everybody was yelling at everybody. And they were on a girls' trip. So I don't know what is exactly happening next week because that was mid-season. So
well, they leave it with a fight, but this was the only real fight that went on. What is at the end? So now we come back to Jessel because take a little break, come back, take a little break, come back. Here we go. Jessel and her mom. She's gonna tell her mom this whole thing. Which, see, here's my thing. If this is a problem and such a traumatic thing for you that you need to like tell your mom this big deep dark secret, it does look weird when you save it for camera. Like when you save it for the camera, because you're like, well, all this time, this is how you feel that something this special should be shared with your mom on camera.
But it might also have been that, oops, I said it on camera, and now I kind of have to tell her, so I might as well tell her while I'm on camera. Like, kind of thing, I guess. That's the only thing I think.
You could tell her before it comes out. I mean,
well, maybe she wasn't planning to say it on camera, and then she realized she slipped and was like, all right, well, I'll just go with it. My favorite thing too is though she does it right to the mom. When they make like a comment about how she's acting and she goes, "So you're calling me a this?" She did that to the mom
I
too.
saw that too. Yeah.
Every person, if you comment on how she acts, she makes an assumption of what you are.
She comes up with the name of what you think she is.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like you're thinking you're these things because because here's the thing. She's coming up with them way too fast. It's not like I just said, you give this and you do that, and you're like, well, wait, what do you mean about me and this? No, she comes right with, so you think I'm blah, blah, blah. What did she call it?
I forgot. I didn't write it down. But here's my thing. You know what I could imagine? Imagine like one day someone's like, yeah, you're acting like this. And she just has one ready and it's not what she's expecting. And it's like completely like the opposite of like, oh my God, Jessel, you were like such a good person today. And she's like, I was absolutely horrible, atrocious. And
it's just
like the worst person in the world. And like, no, that is the opposite of what I just said. Like I could like, she's got them too ready and she messed up.
It's just weird. But I was not surprised. Mom was supportive, of course. Mom looked a little bit upset. Do I think Mom was going to show if she was really upset on TV? I don't think she will. She's one of them that I don't think she's going to show it. But she said she would have, I think she was hurt because she wanted to be there for her kid and you took that away from her.
Well, yeah, I think it was that, like the... Okay. What the hell was that?
So, I mean, this one did move rather quickly, I felt. Yeah. We went from boop, 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 boop. Maybe it's because we kind of stayed in the same general field, like...
What the hell was that? It was like a screeching sound and a hum.
I don't know.
Sissy, get on it, please.
I don't know. Maybe because they started a little bit with Jenna, then they moved to Erin, then they moved back to Jenna, then they moved to Jessel, then they moved to Brynn, and then back to Jessel.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
long.
No, not that. But it didn't feel like the scenes were like cut really quickly. Like you got to sit with them for a little bit, but then it wasn't too long. It was like a really good amount. It wasn't like how OC that last week where it was just like, oh my God, we were just fighting with Heather and now like, she's gone. And
these had a little bit of more beef to them.
And you could tell also it was like cohesive in the fact that they were backstories. Yeah. It wasn't like it wasn't like Jen and her adoption, Heather and Shannon figuring out their fight, Emily at the charity. Like you could tell the cohesive thing here was supposed to be a little more information on these girls.
And we also did find out, just so that we have a little bit more on that, is that Jenna did have she has like I don't know if she's a genetic thing or something where she has no lashes. I know you had said that one time, but she said she has no lashes. Yeah. That's why she started this lash line. So I'm like, I'm curious to see it. I'm trying to get those false lashes on.
Well, and she said, I think they're supposed to be more of like a natural lash look rather than like, those like, they do tend to sell big over dramatic. That's what you're looking for, maybe.
Just looking for a little ones
you bought and you returned. Remember when you bought the eyelashes and you returned?
I don't think so. No, I would have remembered
the. Was just more like that was a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely that wasn't her brand. Look. But I'm curious. Yeah. So now Brynn is having a wreath making class, which I couldn't figure out what it was at first. I thought she was shopping.
That's a good idea for a party. That's actually like a cute idea to do.
Yeah, that was. And it seemed like she decorated or something herself. I don't know. That lady said something to her about, maybe it was just the bar, the added bar. They typically don't have that at a wreath making party, but I think that's what makes any kind of those crafty parties
like a paint and sip, but like a wreath thing. Like I think that's a good idea to do instead of like like a basic.
For the holiday, that's something. Well, I don't know what else you could do besides a wreath for the holiday, but because gingerbreads are typically
garland, but like that's what I'm saying. Like it's something different.
Yeah, that was something nice though. So she has this, and she's gonna invite all the girls, to this wreath thing. So it seemed everybody was coming. Then you first get Jessel. She shows up first, and I mean sometimes like I don't know. Sometimes Jessel annoys me, but like I get what Brynn is saying. Like she's like, when Jessel shows up, she's like all about you and all about being there and all about the whole bit. And it is
when
very
Jessel's good, she's good. Yeah. When she's bad, she's.
And that's what she said.
That's what it is.
When she's there and she comes, you know that she is all about being there and enjoying the time and what have you. And then you have Jenna who shows up. She's killing me with these products.
Also, I think Sai arrived before her. No?
No,
Sai was
yeah, because it was Jessel that came and helped her.
Yeah.
She comes with all these bags. I don't even know how she got these bags to the location. Maybe she got out of her car. Someone dropped her off.
No, she did. She got dropped out of a car and she started piling them on the streets.
Oh my God, it was crazy. But she said that she brought all her presents because she's not going to see the girls during the holidays. So I said, oh well, that's nice. But then no. Then she starts talking about how their products.
It's like leftover PR. And I'm like, but I did see a lot of people saying. Sai should not be one to comment on this, as she is an influencer and does like the product stuff, but like she didn't give them out though, so there is like a difference.
I guess. I don't know. I just was like, oh my gosh. And then of course Sai comes and it's the four of them, and she starts sitting there and she starts telling about the story that Jenna told about the nickname and all.
The only thing I didn't like was like I feel like Jenna should have told that. Like she literally told it verbatim, or like let her jump in.
I feel like she should have said, "Why don't you?" When she said, "Is this your brother that created the nickname for you?" and she didn't even give her the chance to say like, "Yes." Well, why don't you tell them what the nickname is? They'll get a kick out of it too. And because if you want her to share. Like there's your opportunity,
you
like
just
to like
took it from her
you took it from her and told the whole story and like basically or told her whole story, which you don't even know if she wanted that to be told.
Yeah,
because you were there and you were privy to it, but that doesn't mean she said share it with the group. So I don't know. I mean, she went right into the whole thing about what her real name is,
like hit it beat for beat too, like everything.
She's lucky that Jenna didn't take it like personally and just like was okay with it. Because, I mean, then
she was probably thinking, the worst part was probably like, yeah, I would have liked to tell my story, but honestly, I don't want to talk, so it's fine. Let her do it.
She was probably fine with it. Then they laugh about the story, and it all turns out great. And, like, Jenna says, that she has, good intentions, Sai, and she knows that she means well. And, it was all coming from a place of, like, fun or whatever. And then Erin comes in. When she comes in, Brynn kept commenting on everybody that was coming in and the energy they were bringing, and like Jessel came in festive.
Did you catch Jenna came in she with gave the them like a name?
Yeah, Jenna came in with the gifts. Sai was like in a winter wonderland look, and then in came Erin. And don't get me wrong, I saw it and felt it through the TV too. She had some negative energy and some hostility going, but rightfully so. She was pissed. So she said when she came in, it was like the worst energy ever. And it was.
She did call her Darth Vader.
Yeah, she called her Darth Vader, and I'm like, I'm trying to like catch on to that for a minute, and I'm like, is it the outfit? She did have like some kind of chain-looking vest.
Yeah, I don't know. She gave everybody weird names.
I think it was just the attitude. Yeah, that sparked that name.
What I appreciated from Erin though is she said, "Do I really want to be here? No." But am I here and I'm going to ruin this party? Yes. Yeah. See, that's the things I do like. This like appreciation and awareness of like, I don't want to be here. Last place I'd want to be, but I'm going to ruin it while I'm here.
That's what I forgot to say too. When they were talking about Jenna's name, they were shocked that was not her name. And then Brynn, in her interview, she goes, yeah, so... I mean, I don't go around carding people or asking for their driver's license, but maybe now I should. She goes, I have rifled through a wallet before. And I was just like, she just slips that nonsense in that you're just like, wait, what did you just say? You went through a wallet or two in your past? I'm like, no.
And I believe her.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe she has.
I'm sure she has. But like she was joking, saying like she had to card her. But like it's stuff like that Erin just said too. Like, yeah, am I happy to be here? No, but am I gonna wreck this party? Sure I am. I'm like, oh boy, there she goes. So then Sai casually asks what everyone's doing for the holidays, and I think they really started the wreaths at this point.
Yeah, I think they were starting like once Erin got there,
they started the wreaths. And
yeah, because they had eaten before she got there, I think.
Yeah, they were eating. Well, that's a whole nother bowl of wax because Sai asked about the food, and
I can't defend her on this one because this is the most normal food they've had. There was literally French fries. Who doesn't eat French fries?
I know.
She
made it sound like she said everybody. She did say this time that she doesn't eat meat, and she actually said it when a fight comes up with Erin towards the end. Yeah. But I mean, Erin said something that look, it's what I say. Eat before you come, maybe. You need to start eating before you come because she's like, this is becoming an issue. But
avocado toast, that's like influencer 101.
It's just really, she said something about brown avocado toast. I don't know what that. Maybe the avocado was turning because it was sitting out and it was. Like,
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like French fries, everybody eats French fries. That's our vegan slogan 101. Everybody eats fries. Everybody.
I don't know. I couldn't figure that out, but that triggered a whole lot of crazy because Erin said, "Oh, I'm going to Dominican Republic and with a whole bunch of family and a couple of cousins, and you would have met them if you stayed around for the speech or something like that." And then Sai brings up the food again and says, "Well, if there was food, then I wouldn't have left." And she's like, "There was plenty of food." And she's like, "Well, I don't eat your piggies in the blanket." She's like, I don't eat meat. She was getting pissed more and more, Erin, and I saw this going bad, and I saw her she was getting ready to pick everybody off one by one by one.
The issue though, she's not gonna win. She might win the Sai thing because I think everybody's annoyed with that, but I don't think she's gonna win the Brynn thing because they've all collectively agreed she's a flirt. That's what Brynn is, and that's what it was. It was her being her flirty self. Like that's the only one I think she's not gonna win. She had drink
in her, and so it was even more extensive. So she says something about, I don't know, Sai said something. Did she say?
I think
I should have said goodbye, or I don't know. Somehow she prompted something.
I think Brynn turned to her and said something, and then she's like, "No, don't you?"
No, because what she said to her, she said something about an apology. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think Sai said something that Erin said. Well, at least you. She said, "At least you can apologize" or something. But so Brynn says, "Oh, so she gets she left or something, and she gets an apology or something like that." And she said, "Oh no, don't you start." And that apology was not sincere. That was sarcastic or something, like letting her know, like, no, she wasn't getting an apology. That was sarcasm.
I think she apologized, and then Erin said thank you, and she was like, "Oh, so you're gonna say thank you to her?" And she was like, "No, it was a sarcastic thank you." Yeah.
And she goes on to say something about, them being rude, them talking, her with the divorce, about
she went down
telling
the whole
her husband
little
to get a
list.
divorce. Oh, yeah, she went boom, 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 right down the line. I mean, the only thing I didn't like was that Brynn said she did not bring up divorce on camera, and they literally showed her saying it. Divorce. I mean, she kept going, I would never do that. I would never. Like, if you don't know if you've did it for sure, don't say I would never. Yeah. Because you are,
now
know
you're going to look like a liar out there, and reunion time.
Yeah, you're going to look like such a liar. Like, come on. So, I don't know. It was...
Because, it's just, you could pull the drunk card and be like, I was tipsy, so I don't know. I mean, I don't think I said divorce, and I would hope I would never say it, but I'm not saying that I didn't say it, because I don't know. Like, you gotta shape up, ladies. Say those things.
Before you know it, it took a turn. And I don't know what she said to her that stirred her. And she said, maybe she just had enough. I don't know. And she's like, I'm out of here.
She took her wreath.
Yep.
And left. My favorite thing is, if you pay attention, not a single one of those girls stopped making their wreath while fighting. Yeah, I think Erin was the only one who wasn't doing her wreath while she was fighting, but all the other ones, they kept breathing.
Breathing. You made a verb. So that whole thing, like Brynn and all that, they were all very angry, and so I guess they had no intention of like going after her while she stormed off.
They kind of looked like maybe, and even she kind of like walked away from the place like a little slowly. That was like,
I think she thought somebody was coming for her. No. And then Jenna's like, are we just gonna let her go? And Sai's like, yeah, let her go because she's a pain in the neck, and I guess she's causing all these problems that don't need to be caused. So they ultimately let her go, and she's walking down the street talking to, that was her husband, right?
Sister.
Oh, sister.
That sister's little devil on her shoulder. She's gonna get her in trouble.
That sister looks like Leah's sister a little bit. Gives me that feel of her. And then they just get in the middle of that. Uba gives them a call, And
yeah, because she still has COVID.
She still has COVID.
This is her only appearance besides in the very beginning. They show her getting up out of bed.
Do you know what she dropped on the counter? That was the 3-second rule or 30-second rule or whatever. I couldn't tell. I don't know what it was.
That was like the one little clip they had of her.
I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it was it was a pill or something. It didn't look like it.
I don't know. It was definitely food because I think she was making food.
You can get away with because it's hard, but something soft, I think you should throw it out. But that's just me. They did go into, I don't know why I have it after she left. Did they? Oh no, they started opening up her gifts.
Yeah, they opened Jenna's. After Erin left, they opened Jenna's gift, which I guess Erin doesn't get any gifts.
I was a little confused about that because they were really coming for her with these gifts. They were, and Sai especially.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're the influencer. Making fun
of her. You should. I'm like,
and you wanted to be friends with her, and now you're gonna.
And now you're dissing her. Maybe that's how she is friendly. I don't know. But they bring Uba on just to, I guess, bring her on, and they prop her up next to the food because she asks about the food, and she says, thank God I wasn't there.
Yeah. But you know what? She probably would have... Well, I don't know. I feel like Brynn, she might have assumed, I don't have to eat before.
I don't know. She made that comment now that they should eat before.
Yeah. And that's what they should all have, solo dinners and then meet
honestly, she's almost done it to everybody, so... Or, like, to a place that somebody's picked, so...
Yeah.
I'm going with it's her... Because that's what they do to us. It's usually us. And I usually agree, but, I mean...
Usually we find something to eat. I think the issue is, though, when we can find something to eat because it's like a menu. She's just going to, like, these places and they're like, this is what we have and this is it.
I guess. I don't know. It was all bizarre.
You know what she needs to do, Sai? Come with, like, her own little, like, bento box each thing. Just, like, a little carry around. Just, like, got my food. Here's my food. Don't. Nobody has to ask. All you need is a microwave.
I mean, in all honesty, if you know that you have restrictive diet, you don't know what, especially if you're coming to something like this, where if you're going to a restaurant, that's one thing. You can look ahead and see, is there anything at that restaurant for me? How do I handle this? Blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to a place where somebody's going to host like an event like this, you have no idea what they're doing. And why would you just ask her what you're bringing? You act like you're close to her. Well, that's what I was going to say. For, like, anything where it's, like, a real dinner, like in Erin's house, you could say, what do you think about having? Do you think you'll have anything for me and options for me? But Bryn's theme seemed more like an appetizer. Like, you were just picking around. Like, you didn't have to eat here. So I don't think it was, like, a dinner. That's what cracks me up. Is, like, she always acts like someone needs to be serving her dinner.
I have to believe the cheese board comments now at this point. At this point, I have to believe them.
No, I think something went on there because... The sad part is, I don't think either that this was meant to be like, hey, let's have din-din. Like, I think it was meant to be like, hey, have hors d'oeuvres. Because you're making a wreath. Like, what the hell do you think you're doing here? How long do you think you're staying? Like, forever? Like, no.
Yeah.
This is the stuff they fight over, which is what blows my mind. Let's fight over food. Let's fight over nonsense. Like, someone making a joke. I don't know. I think it's going to be the demise if they don't pull it together.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the stupid fights a little bit.
I do,
They're
but
a little
I just
bit funnier than, like,
but I just don't want them to be, like, I don't want to say all the time, but, like, I don't know, I want them to stay focused with them and, like, not keep repeating the fights.
Well, I think that's all for now.
Yeah, it's pretty much done.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed. We do this every Wednesday, and we do the Real Housewives of OC every Monday, and I'm thinking check back next week because that's when I'll be up. Check back either this episode or OC. I'm thinking we are going to post our Salt Lake City episodes every Friday. You got to give us time because we got to wait for it to go up on Peacock the next day, and then we got to watch it, record it, all that stuff.
And we're on what, season 3?
Girl, we just started season 2. We actually we have to go.
How many seasons are there?
3. So we have to go because we have to go catch up. Jen Shaw's being caught in the little van, so we gotta
see how that goes on.
We have to know. I'm intrigued.
This is getting interesting.
We watched Whitney drop the cake like 4 times last night. That was really good.
Lordy, she was. To comment on that one would have been great.
I know. I mean, I'm watching some of these. I'm like, I wish we could have done it, but
she was so drunk, and I'm thinking to myself, how did she not set something on fire?
I don't know. That was pretty impressive. Every time
I seen put it out. I don't know. I was blown away that she did not set something on fire in that hallway.
Yeah.
I know she walked away and left that cream on the door, and I'm like, oh, come on, clean it. Please clean it. She didn't. I know she didn't. She licked a little bit of it off, I think, with her finger and tried to, like, adjust the cake with it, and oh, what a disaster. What a disaster. Gotta go anyway.
But that's it.
Long TV show.
Please leave us a good rating. And if you're on YouTube, you give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve. Subscribe, follow, and turn notifications so you don't miss any episodes. Because what if Fight changed the Salt Lake date? Like, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait and see.
A Fight changed the Salt Lake date? What?
That's it. Thank you so much for listening or watching.
You're just gonna ignore that didn't make sense?
No, it did. You're just hearing things.
What did you say? You might change?
Yeah.
Oh, close. I said fight. Hit the button. It's time for food. Although I need to take maybe a little.
No!